For many years, people have been hearing me tell them that if you get involved with Donald Trump, your life is going to be ruined in one way or another. And that is, of course, based on all of the available evidence showing that the people who choose to get involved with Donald Trump typically have their lives ruined in one way or another. One of the people, and in fact, I think it's the best example of people, is Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani is facing all sorts of legal problems. He's been disbarred in New York State and Washington, D.C. And of course, he is now filing for bankruptcy. But all of that is due to the fact that he decided to work for Donald Trump as a lawyer. Had he not done any of that, almost every single one of Rudy Giuliani's problems over the last few years would have disappeared in an instant. And if you don't want to take it from me, how about you take it from Rudy Giuliani's daughter, Caroline? In an article for Vanity Fair this week, Caroline Giuliani not only came out and endorsed Kamala Harris for president, but also warned everybody the same warning I've been giving you, and that is Donald Trump ruins people's lives. Here is what Caroline Giuliani had to say. Not to disregard individual accountability in the slightest, but it would be naive for us to ignore the fact that many of those closest to Trump have descended into catastrophic downward spirals. If we let Trump back into the driver's seat this fall, our country will be no exception. Nothing I have experienced prepared me for the very public and relentless implosion of my father's life. After months of feeling the type of sorrow that comes from the death of a loved one, it dawned on me that I've been grieving the loss of my dad to Trump. I cannot bear to lose our country to him too. Take it from me. Trump destroys everything he touches. I saw it happen to my family. Don't let it happen to yours or to our country. Now, of course, that is not the entire article written by Caroline Giuliani, but it is, of course, the most important parts. Because again, this is what I've been saying for years, and I've used Rudy Giuliani as an example. I've used Jenna Ellis. I've used Sidney Powell. I've used Mark Meadows. I've used Michael Cohen, who does, though, appear to have turned his life around. All of these people, and there's so many more that I'm forgetting at the moment, but not one of them got their happy ending, right? They didn't get their happily ever after. Each and every one of these people thought that by hitching their wagon to Donald Trump, they would be rewarded in some way. Maybe through riches, maybe through fame, maybe just through recognition and awards. Maybe they thought they'd be rewarded with power, as is the case of Giuliani. He already had the fame, he already had the money, but he wanted more. He wanted to be Donald Trump's attorney general. So, thinking Trump was going to win in 2020, Giuliani took him on as a client starting in 2018, started doing all that opposition research for him, which of course is what then led to the criminal investigation into him that did not result in charges. But Giuliani wasn't finished. Following the results of the 2020 election, Rudy Giuliani spearheaded Trump's efforts to get the election overturned. And where'd that get Rudy Giuliani? It got him a $148 million defamation verdict against him that caused him to file bankruptcy. It got him disbarred in New York and Washington, D.C., and it got him hit with criminal charges in Georgia and Arizona. Not exactly a fairy tale ending for the man who thought he was going to be the next Attorney General of the United States. And Caroline Giuliani, his daughter, has had to watch all this with horror. She knew it. She knew this was bad. She knew she was losing her father. And she could end up losing her father for the rest of his life that he could be spending behind bars. She'll only get to see him on visit days. And given Giuliani's age, if he gets sentenced to prison, that could be game over. That'll be the last time she sees her father is through a plate glass window. And she's warning everybody, not just the voters, to not let it happen to our country, but she's sending a more personal message to the families of these people going all in for Donald Trump. These are people who do not have money to give, but by God, they're giving it anyway. They don't have money for groceries, but oh my God, we got to buy those Trump sneakers. We got to put whatever little bit of money we have into Truth Social stock. And they've now lost everything. Families across the country are losing themselves. They're losing each other. They're losing everything they've ever worked for, going all in on Donald Trump. And we always talk about the big ones, right? The visible ones, the Jenna Ellis, the Rudy Giuliani, the Mark Meadows people. But it's the average everyday families that I think Caroline is trying to warn right here. What happened to her father was very public, but there are thousands of stories across this country of families being torn apart because of Donald Trump. And those are the ones that she is warning, don't let that happen, because it will. It is, and if they continue to go all in for Trump, they will all, no matter what happens in November, they will all still be left with less than nothing. Hi everyone, this here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.